Shalom, beloved saints. Let's discuss on this topic, potential seeds. What is potential? It means having the capacity, qualities, or abilities that may be developed and lead to future usefulness. The word seed can be people or word of God. Genesis 12, verse 7, Mark 4, 3 to 20. Most seeds we are called, but there are ones that are called for special duties. Those seeds that are called for special duties were set aside by God. They were chosen by God to fulfill sensitive missions for Him. These special seeds were fully anointed from the womb to carry out divine assignments that support the plan of God towards humans. Most of these tasks are challenging and require dedication, submission, faith, and trust in God. The special seeds were chosen by God, not based on their merit, but rather on God's purpose for their lives. Let's look at the attitudes of the chosen vessels. Most chosen vessels used to have nonchalant and non-submissive character towards the will of God. In most cases, God have to bend them through different ways in order for them to carry out their special assignments. Most often, they always have divine encounter before submitting to divine power. God doesn't give them room of negotiating with Him on carrying out their task. No drama of excuses are accepted. God have final say on such people. Take Moses for an example. When he had an encounter with God in the burning bush, God sent him on a delicate assignment, which he deliberately wanted to avoid with excuses. Moses started by saying, "Whom am I that I should go unto Pharaoh to bring forth the people of Israelites out of Egypt?" Exodus 3:11. Moses started again with another excuse, that I am not eloquent and am also slow in speech and of tongue. Exodus 4:10. Then God it made very clear to him that him God made man's mouth and maketh the dumb, deaf, and the seeing or the blind. Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth to teach you what to say. Yet Moses, with all his excuses, requested and told God to send by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. Exodus 4:10 to 13. Then God got angry with him for all these excuses. Bear in mind that as a special seed, none of your excuses will make God change his mind on the task ahead of you. Rather, he will create an avenue to guide and help you out with the task. Exodus 4:14 to 17. God chooses whom he wants to choose, regardless of the person's sinful nature, physical features, the ability to speak or not, etc. Take Apostle Paul as an example. On his way to persecute saints in Damascus, he had an encounter with Jesus Christ. In the whole scenario surrounding his encounter, Jesus Christ later sent a man called Aeneas to go into a street, which is called Straight, to meet Paul, to put his hand onto him that he might receive his sight. But Aeneas started reminding God of how much evil Paul had done to the saints at Jerusalem. Let me be frank with you. The word of the Lord isn't that same as that of woman. So God told him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles, kings, and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. Acts 9 1 to 16. Look at the word God used here. That he must suffer to bear my name. That he will bear the mark of Jesus Christ on him. The suffering is must. God is negotiating with Paul on this. Another potential seed was the Samaritan woman. The woman that had an encounter with Jesus Christ as Jacob's well. When she came to draw water, Jesus Christ approached her to give him water to drink. Look at the whole scenario on what happened to the woman. Jesus Christ then told her, while discussing with her, that she had already had 5 husbands, and the one she was living with wasn't even her husband. Then Jesus Christ never condemned the woman. Rather, through the woman, he was able to reach and teach the Samaritans, and many believed in him. The grace of God saved the woman, for through her, her people received salvatory message. John 4 7 to 42. Let's look at another great vessel, Rahab the harlot. Rahab was a seed used to safeguard the 2 men sent by Joshua to spy the land of Jericho. Jericho was highly secured that strangers would be detected amongst them. The 2 men entered Rahab's house with the pretense that they had come to satisfy their lustful desires. God used Rahab to secure them, even when the men of Jericho were after them. Still, Rahab kept them safe. Ask yourself, had it been that Rahab the harlot wasn't there, what would have happened to those men? Through Rahab, they were able to carry out the assignment successfully. Rahab was rewarded. The reward was that her father's household and all she had were saved before the destruction of Jericho. Then she moved to stay with the people of Israelites. Joshua 2 1 to 21. Joshua 6 22 to 25. Another special seed was Mary Magdalene. She was taken in adultery at the very act. She was brought to Jesus, but Jesus Christ never condemned her. Rather, he gave her grace to go and sin no more. John 8 3 to 11. Mary Magdalene was the woman from whom Jesus Christ cast away 7 devils. Luke 8 verse 2. She was the Mary who anointed Jesus Christ with expensive perfume before his death. She wiped his feet with her hair. Mary Magdalene witnessed most of the events surrounding the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. She was the first person that had an encounter with Jesus Christ after his resurrection. Then Jesus Christ sent her to tell others about it. John 20 11 to 18. Luke 8 1 to 2. Luke 7 36 to 50. John 12 3 to 6. The Pharisees and the scribes were not comfortable seeing Mary around Jesus, but Jesus Christ accepted her, for he came for the sinners and not for the righteous people. Mary Magdalene was the same person as Mary of Bethany, a sister to Martha and Lazarus. Let's look at some of the outstanding vessels. Samuel, Gideon, Samson, and so many others. We are seeds with special duties to God. David, a man after God's heart, was a seed that heaven said that nobody will sit down to eat sacrificial meal until he arrives. Ask yourself, what is heaven saying about you? Analyze and evaluate whom you are before God. Ask yourself, what is my duty unto God? Am I a special seed? Do I have special assignment? Be blessed as you ask these questions and will be able to get answer from within yourself. Please like this message, share, comment and subscribe if you have not done that.